What up, y'all? This your girl Cheryl coming from the Go Getter Circle, and today I'm talking about craft fairs. I've never done one before, but I'm really interested in getting into some. That is also going to be my goal for 2020. Just showcasing my own talent, my own art, my own everything. So yeah, the reason why I want to get into these craft fairs and things like that is because, for one, like I said, to showcase my own talent, my own art, my own ideas, the way I want them showcased. And it's a good place to meet people, like-minded people. The older I get, the more I'd rather be around like-minded people and just, you know, surround myself with those kind of people and keep my mind active doing things I like to do versus things I don't like to do. And like I said, meeting new people, brainstorming with ideas, coming up with new things to do, coming up with new groups. I have always been like, I like starting groups. But like I said, the older I get, a lot of stuff that people want to talk about today is I'm just not interested in. So yeah, I'm really interested in craft shows and doing things like that. I think for some reason it's been weighing heavy on my mind to get involved in those things. So I've been working on some things that I would like to showcase and show, and I think just setting up a booth or a tent or whatever you do when you go to craft shows. I know everybody makes it look effortless. I mean, when you see other people doing it on YouTube, it seems like it's easy, but I'm sure a lot of nerves and planning and stress goes into it, because it's when it gets down to crunch time with anything, you're like running around. But I think the thrill of it is something I would enjoy as well. So yeah, that's my goals. And then just talking about learning how to present your own talent. Sometimes it's easier said than done. I mean, sometimes you just can't get people to understand what it is you're trying to say or convey or whatever it is you're trying to do. But I'm here to tell you that it's been a long road, and you get tired, and you get stressed, and you just, but if you don't give up on your own self and just keep doing what you believe in, eventually something will come through for you. A lot of times we get discouraged because things that are not flying off the shelves like we feel like they should, or flying off of anything, and we get discouraged and give up. But my life as a whole has been because I have not given up on, what I believe in as far as my crafts, my gifts, And no two people are the same, period. Whether you're born twins or whatever, two people are the same. Everybody has their own ideas and their own ways of how they get to the end result. And you just got to find your own niche. You got to find your own way. And that's what anybody will tell you. You do have to find your own way. You can't piggyback on somebody else's coattail or whatever, or back, and expect the same results. It's a proven thing. It just don't work that way. So yeah, I wouldn't give up. I would write down things that you wish you could change about yourself, not yourself personally, but by how you are going about doing what you do. If you need to tweak it some, then you just have to tweak it and not worry about it. I know when you first start off, like when I first opened this website, I didn't know exactly what I want to do. Your first goal is to, when you go into any kind of business, is to make money. So you try to find things to make money with, and then you either stick with that, or you're like, no, that's really not making me feel the way I want to feel. It's not making my ideas come to fruition. It's just making somebody else's ideas come to fruition. So and it's a job regardless if you go that way or your own way. It's still it could lead to a good, promising job for you that you created yourself or however you did it. So yeah, I wouldn't give up on myself. I mean, we all deal with, timing. Sometimes timing just isn't right. That don't mean that it's not meant for you. It's just not right. When timing is right, you'll know it because things won't, be so hard to do. So yeah, I don't know. So that's exactly what I want to get into, and I encourage anyone who wants to do things like that to do it. I mean, the biggest part of the beginning of it is fear, because you're like, just to come outside of your normal comfort zone and do something different sometimes it's fearful. It's like if you've never been a public speaker and you get up on the stage in front of a lot of people trying to speak, fear is going to be the biggest thing first. But once you do it, and especially if people accept you and accept whatever you're saying, hey, it becomes easier and easier as you go. But if you don't ever try it, then you won't ever know. So, and that's just how that goes. Some things you have to use common sense. Common sense is if you can't really do it, you shouldn't be trying to do it regardless. And especially not just to prove something to people, okay? Because at the end of the day, people ain't gonna really be thinking about you like you think they should be, is what I keep running into. So I just encourage you to be yourself. Don't worry about what anybody else is saying or thinking about you. Long as the people you in business with or deal with understand your vision or your motives or whatever, then you're cool. You don't have to second guess yourself or think twice about it. If it's what you like, is what you like to do, then just do it. Forget about it. And you'll attract the right people eventually. Just like I said, getting started is always more than people want to put up with, especially when it comes to making money. Most of the stuff is for making money. If you're not trying to make money, then it really is nothing else to talk about. All that, the gossip is good for magazines when, if it ain't about all that, then, a lot of people are not into all that. So I would encourage anybody when you go into business, because it is a hook, line, and sinker thing. When you try to go into business, you can assure that it'll be a ton of people trying to tell you shouldn't do that, And that's just the way life is. It has nothing to do with people. It's just the way life is, because most people who don't want to do that don't want to do it because they feel like it's something hard to do. Not necessarily because they don't think you could do it. It's just something they could do because maybe they don't have the patience for it, or maybe they don't have the money to do it, or whatever the case may be. Is don't let anybody else sidetrack you from being prosperous or doing what you got to do for yourself, regardless. We do have friends, we have families, and sometimes they tug at us, don't want us to do this, don't want us to do that. But at the end of the day, you have to make your own decisions about the way you want your life to go. And that's what I'm proud of today, that all of the decisions I've made that people look and see, I made them myself. I didn't have anybody to tell me to go put this there, go put that there, or think like this or do that. It's just stuff I felt I wanted to do on my own. And I just did it regardless. And a lot of times people don't accept it, but I still did it. A lot of times they don't want to have anything to do with it, but I still did it because you're not going to be able to win everybody over. And so you shouldn't even go into that things with that kind of mindset. I mean, you either going to prosper or you're going to fail. Those are just the two options, period. It don't matter how much money you got. People with a lot of money, they still failed. I mean, it'll be a lie if somebody tells you, because I got a lot of money, nothing ever, everything goes my way. I hardly ever have to, no. Everybody fails. I mean, that's just life. It's something. We fail at something. Everybody drops out the race some point or another. They don't want to run anymore. I mean, that's just what it is. I mean, we usually look at the politics. You'll see a lot of people starting off, right? A lot of potentials starting off in the race. And then one by one, they kind of drop off. I mean, like that. For whatever reasons. Maybe it's money, maybe it's just, hey, I thought I wanted to do this, but I don't, So, but if you never get up there and try, sometimes it's just to get an extra little views for yourself, Sometimes some people find husbands and wives that way. I mean, it's just people do things for whatever reasons they do them for, and unless you're the person, you really can't understand. And, a lot of times, unless me, Cheryl, you really couldn't understand the way I think or any of those things. So, unless I tell you. So, with that being said, that's all I wanted to talk about is don't give up on yourself. Don't give up on your goals. Don't give up on your dreams. Don't let anybody steal your dreams from you. Don't let anybody take your goals and make them their own. No, you stand strong in what you believe. If that's your logo, then you work with your logo, and that's it. It don't matter what anybody else thinks, say, or whatever they do. So yeah, I just wanted to talk about last week. I missed because I had my days confused. Not that anybody really cared, but that's just where I'm at today. I just want to do something else. Of course, I've always wanted to do something else. That's my whole life. I'm always doing something, and it always ends to something else. So, leads to something else. So, and I just like to keep my mind occupied because, if you don't keep your mind occupied, then a lot of other things can drift in and drift out, and people will be trying to tell you this, that, and the other. And before you know it, you don't start dwelling on it. So I encourage you, when you're trying to make up your own minds and work on your own gifts and your own talents, don't let people get in your head and do any of those things. It's a one day at a time kind of step. You just got to keep taking those one day at a time steps. And hey, eventually you'll get all the way up those stairs. So I thank you guys for listening. Tune back in next Tuesday and we can talk about something else. Thank you.